And naturopaths have been using hops for decades to really for anti-anxiety kind of stuff. This is not that. That comes from the plant. This is the flower and a specific extract called a matured hop extract. Now, if you're going to go do your own research, and I highly recommend you do, okay, don't believe me. That's totally fine, really. But if you're going to go look at something and research the right thing. Matured hop extract, more specifically, matured hop bitter acid. I'll come back to that in just a handful of minutes. The other thing you want to check out is something called the vagus nerve, VAGUS. Sits right back here. You got one, everybody's got one. And that vagus nerve is one of the most important nerves in the body, and almost no one knows what it is. It controls, check it, 1,100 different processes in your body. The major ones, all your digestion, all your heart and your lungs. Big, 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 big deal, this vagus nerve. And when you begin to understand the relationship between the matured hop extract that I'm about to talk to you about and the vagus nerve, you will begin to understand why we are so incredibly excited. So what happens is we get this phone call about this matured hop extract. Now, a handful of companies have been able to successfully extract it over the last 70 years. Problem was, it was $500,000 to $1 million worth of cost, processing cost, to collect 1 gallon. So there was no way to bring it to the market. But over the course of time, research was done on the few gallons that were collected, and it showed a propensity, a potential, to go after and reduce visceral fat. Now, most of us, think we know what visceral fat is. It's the deep down stuff, the stuff that hangs out around your organs and your torso. And you've probably heard of a fatty liver. That's visceral fat, otherwise known as white adipose tissue. Okay, so because these trials that these companies had done showed a potential to go after that, this became very exciting. Why? Again, go do your research on this. Go look at what having too much visceral bad fat, belly fat, leads to. You'll find what I found because I went and Googled. You'll see that it leads to high blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol, autoimmune issues, heart disease, inflammation, cognitive issues, digestive issues, all these different things for which Big Pharma is really happy to sell you drugs for the rest of your life to mask and not fix a darn thing. Because, of course, if they fixed you, they wouldn't be able to keep selling you drugs. So that's what's going on out there. All of a sudden, there's this matured hop extract that's 100% natural that if somebody takes it in, it starts to impact that visceral fat, which then could help impact the symptoms that come from it. So, wow, all of a sudden, when you start to pull all this together, what we have here is world changing. So that, my friends, is what I'm going to be talking to you about for the next few minutes. And let me just explain how all of this works. We'll get out of all this over there. There we go. We're talking about ultimately burning fat smarter, not harder. Okay, that deep down white adipose tissue stuff. Now, most people, when they think about fat burners, they're thinking about stimulants. You take a pill and it's got thermogenics in it, it's got caffeine or whatever, and your heart starts racing, you get the jitters, you're just laying there at night. Oh, and that's not this. Okay, this is completely the opposite, because this is not a stimulant. This is an activator. Okay, an activator. And because it's an activator, it activates your God-given response system to a bitter substance entering your body. This is a big deal. I'll explain that in just a second. Now, listen, this has never existed before for human consumption. Outside of the couple of hundred people that participated in clinical trials over about a 70-year period, no one on the planet had ever been able to take what we're talking about tonight until we rolled this guy out here, Fix. June 15th of last year. That is, you're seeing it right there on the screen. Plant-based, one extract out of the plant, out of the flower, all natural, colorless, odorless, tasteless, and there are no clinical side effects to this. This is an amazing thing. Now, it's important to understand, you just drop this in any liquid, so when you put it in there, it doesn't change anything, and that's what we suggest. I'll show you that in just a second, but let me explain what's going on and why all this works. This is about that 10-minute mark. After I get done with this, you'll know whether you want to hang out or not. So look, you and I have a body. In this body that we live in, we need energy. We take in energy in the form of food and drinks. And as we do that, we take in something called calories. Calories, right? Protein, fat, carbohydrates. There's also minerals and vitamins you need. But these calories come in and they're energy for our body. As we take them in, your body uses up some of those calories, energy right away. It excretes some of it over time. Then the rest of it, if you're a little bit on the overachiever scale of taking in calories, you know what I'm saying? Your body takes that in, but you're not burning it up. So it's going to store it away for later. It's energy after all, just in case we need it. And it's going to pack it away as visceral fat, white adipose tissue, what? Belly fat. And then you got the subcutaneous fat on top of that. That's the jiggly stuff that we all want to get rid of. I'll touch on that in about 5 minutes. But here we go. So over the course of our life, we begin to look a bit more like this silhouette than that sexy 20-year-old body we all used to have. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. Why are we doing that? Because fat is accumulating over the course of our life. Now, why are we talking? Because Fix does something very unique in the human body. Like I said, it is an activator. When you take in matured hop bitter acid, remember, you have something called bitter receptors on the tongue. You have them in your esophagus and your small intestine. And those bitter receptors were put there by God Almighty to protect your body, because most poisons that come in are bitter. So when a bitter substance enters, your bitter receptors go on high alert, like, wait a minute, this could be a problem. Warning, warning, danger. And all of a sudden, you stop metabolizing food, and your body begins to analyze this bitter substance that's entered. All of a sudden, your body moves into fight or flight, that parasympathetic state. What's going on over here? And maybe there could be a problem. So your body goes on high alert, the vagus nerve gets really tense, and you start burning visceral fat. Why? Because the bitter receptors send a signal to the BAT, your brown adipose tissue, that's good fat, and the brown adipose tissue sends a signal to the vagus nerve back down to the body that says burn up white adipose tissue because you need energy. Just like it would if you were doing a cold plunge. When somebody does an ice bath, this is the exact same thing that happens. It's just a different starter mechanism. Body temperature drops. Warning, we got a problem. Body then sends a signal to the vagus nerve, or to the BAT, that sends a signal to the vagus nerve back down to the body to burn up white adipose tissue to start to shiver. Why? Because you got to warm your body up. It's a thermogenic response. When the bitter acid enters, same thing gets activated, just with a different catalyst, if you will. So now all of a sudden you're burning white adipose tissue while your body's figuring this whole thing out. And all of a sudden it realizes this is not a poison. Then all of a sudden, okay, everybody relax. Okay, it's all good. Let it in. And all of a sudden, your body moves over to rest and digest in the sympathetic state. So this is why this is so great. Your vagus nerve is what is responsible for this parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. And the fight or flight over to rest and digest. It's also the whole brain-gut connection that you've heard about. That's the vagus nerve, okay? So now when that vagus nerve calms down, you start to move into what's called homeostasis. Balance, the way God intended your body to operate. So now that whole digestive system starts to work the right way. Your heart, your lungs start to operate effectively. So now if you've got a lot of inflammation, that inflammation starts to come down, circulation starts to go up, woo, lean body mass, all those big muscle cells y'all got in there, they start to get more oxygen, more mitochondria. So now what begins to happen, you start to see your body begin to remodel itself, because the visceral fat starts to get burned up, but the measurements start to shrink, body percent fat goes down, lean body mass goes up, because all of this is happening because a matured hop bitter acid has entered your body and activated your response system the way it's supposed to. If you've ever had food poisoning, you know exactly how that response works. And so that's what's going on in the human body. Now, I need to tell you though, there are some potential side effects, okay? So this is really important. You could experience better sleep, reduced brain fog, reduced appetite, more energy, increased libido, reduced inflammation, better digestion, bowel movement regulation, improved prostate, increased blood flow, all these things and a whole lot more. Why do we know that? Because 50 1,000 people have joined since we rolled this guy out on June 15th. And we know that we've gotten tens of thousands of people that have had these responses. Now, I am not claiming that any one of you is going to have any one of these. What I am saying is that we know from the clinical trials that it goes after the visceral fat. The side effects, benefits, are these things. So if any of these things appeal to you, you might want to consider trying Fix and seeing what it does in your body. So how does this whole thing work? We take this snap like I've been showing you, and what do? We drop it in coffee. You can put it in orange juice, iced tea, soda, water. You can put it in any alcoholic beverage you want. It doesn't matter. Hot or cold, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. We squirt it in just like that. And what do we get? Transformation, body transformation in a snap. And when you start to show this to people, you're out with friends and you do something like this, I guarantee you they're going to go, hey, what the heck are you doing there to your drink? And you start having this conversation. Oh, I'm snapping my fat off. What are you thinking? And you start having this conversation about, hey, fat loss, all natural, no side effects. And because we have a world that is overweight and under healthy, a lot of people are very curious about this, and they start asking, hey, I dare you, pop it on social media and see how your social media blows up. Let me just tell you. So that's what's going on, gang. This is how all of this works. Now, like I said at the beginning of this, our mission was to build a marketplace of products. So we have all these other products. But when Fix came along and we began to talk to the researchers and the scientists on the team that produced this, and they started telling us, you guys have found the holy grail of fat loss. We're kind of looking around each other going, what? We have? And they started to explain what I just got done telling you. They started explaining to us. And all of a sudden, I've been a healthy guy my whole life. I'm kind of interested in the body and how it all works. And I started doing some research on it. I'm going, oh my goodness. If this is real, if what's in here, matured hop extract and purified water, if what's in there does what these guys say, this is going to change the world. Oh, holy moly, have we not started? Like I said, 50,000 people have joined, and there is no sign of slowing down. Let me just tell you. Now, in addition to this, while we have this product, we've also not rested on our laurels. See, we have a couple of other products that we've just announced this past weekend. One of them coming here in May, Emulin 5. What is Emulin? Dr. Joseph Aarons had developed this back in 2016. Check it out. Nominated for a Nobel Prize for this, the synergy of the 3 flavonoids and what it does in the human body. All natural, let me just tell you. 3 flavonoids, and what they do in the body is very amazing. But again, nominated for a Nobel Prize. There was a company that had this back in 2016, 17. And they did about $100 million in revenue with this product. That, I don't know about you guys, but that tells me stuff works. And what happens is the owner decides to cheapen the ingredients, impacts the efficacy of it. Aarons pulls the contract because it's affecting his brand. So we then became the company to roll this out. It lives here. We are the only company with it. Like I said, 3 flavonoids. We've added probiotics and vitamin C. That is the Emulin 5 piece of it. But what does it do, Terry? I am glad you asked. Here's what's up. This does 12 different things in the human body. I'm not talking about all that tonight. 2 things. See, when you take in food, one of those types of foods you take in, what are called substrates, are carbohydrates. You got complex, you got simple carbohydrates. You want to know all about complex carbohydrates? Go watch Popeye. Ask your grandma. Yeah, complex carbohydrates, good for you. And then you got the simple carbohydrates. Yeah, those aren't so good for you. But our food is chock full of simple carbohydrates, gang. Why? Because they are cheap and they taste good. And so big food just drives this stuff into us, into the food supply. So what happens is when simple carbohydrates come in, those convert to sugar in your body. Disease loves sugar in your body. And so if you got that going on and that's converting to sugar, that is not good. If you don't burn that up right away, it's going to get stored as fat. Not good. This will take 33%, documented, 33% of those carbohydrates, it'll usher it right out of the body. It won't get converted to sugar. Takes them right on out of your body. That's a cool thing. The other thing it does is prevents insulin spikes. This, my friends, huge deal for diabetics, pre-diabetics, most everybody on the planet. because of the amount of simple carbohydrates that we take in. Now, we also announced another product, the one that goes after the jiggly fat, because we all like to look better naked. When you really get down to it, you get out the shower, you're like, oh man, that's not looking like it used to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so the subcutaneous fat, we just announced a product that'll be available here in the next month and a half, and it is all natural, berries and fruit. That's it. But it aggressively goes after your subcutaneous fat, starts to oxidize it. And in 40 minutes, you feel this natural burst of energy. The other thing we were able to document what it does to the resting metabolic rate. That's the amount of calories you burn every day in your body. And everybody's different, just so you know. And it documented now, it increases by 30 to 35%, that resting metabolic rate. This is phenomenal. That means it's going to go after and reduce that subcutaneous fat as well. All natural. So we've got all three of these, and we've got fulvic acid, NZ-fulvic. It takes all the heavy metals out of your body as well. Not to mention the molecular structure of this stuff takes the nutrition into the cells because it bypasses the blood-brain membrane. This is a big deal in the health of a human. So anyway, we got these 4 products, amazing lineup of products. And we added 50,000 people in the last 10 months with just one product. I believe we'll be at 200,000 reps by the end of this year yet. I mean, we are just flying at this point. Now, we already have a global footprint. We have warehousing logistics all over the planet already as we continue to go in our global domination and expansion. We've already got that done. Now, look, that's the health piece of this. Give me 4 minutes. I'll talk to you about the wealth piece and we'll be wrapping up. So in our world, you can share this idea if you like, kind of like your friend did here. And here you are checking this out. Great. And if you were to get involved, we have what's called the binary compensation plan. 2 teams, a left and a right. Everybody's on a left, everybody's on a right. Doesn't matter. What matters is you're on a team. And the team's growing as you come in. Boom, there you are. Team keeps growing. Everybody, whoever comes in after you on that team, counts for you. You can get paid on that. It does not matter that you put them in. It doesn't matter who puts them in, how they get there, when they get there, ultimately where in the world. It doesn't matter. Everybody, whoever comes in to infinite levels, counts for you. It doesn't matter. 100 people, 1,000, 100,000, all counts. And everybody that ever purchases anything because they get value out of it, whether it's an enrollment kit, auto ships, miscellaneous orders, customers buying from them, international sales. Could you imagine hitting the pillow tonight? You're like, oh, good pillow. And you wake up tomorrow morning and you check your back off. You say, $500? How'd that happen? Because somebody on the other side of the planet was awake while you were asleep and people are telling people about it. That's how this goes. That's real passive income, guys. So every purchase that's ever made creates volume. Volume goes up and that creates income. And the more people you have on your left and your right, not that you put in, that show up, the more people kicks out more volume, which means more income to you. It's just that simple. No gotchas in our comp plan, gang. And just to give you an idea, I have personally put in this I've been in since the beginning, 32 and a half months now, 74 people. That's just whatever, every other week, maybe a person, something like that, whatever it was. And in doing that, that's turned into now 40,000 people. Now, I did not do that, okay? None of us do that. It's what we do together. And because there are so many people looking for something, a lot of people are coming our way. But our secret weapon is right here. Because you see, we have systems and tools in place already. If you're somebody out there and you've had success in this industry, I want to tell you right now, from me to you, you do not have to create or recreate one darn thing if you don't want to. We've already got it on lock. We've got training in place. Here's step 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's how you do this. It's all there in what we call ACE in the back office. The big deal, though, is the gem you're looking at right there. The way we can share this. Copy, paste, send. I kid you not. It's that simple. It's this. Hey, friend, came across something I'm really stoked about. I think you would love this. Details are in the link below. Check it out. That's it. Then you send the link because the link gives them all the information they need. You don't have to explain it. This is the beauty of this, guys. Because we don't have to explain it, we leverage our time by using tools that do explain it. That way, everybody can duplicate. That, my friends, is why we are growing so fast. That is why we can scale. That's why we can train the masses very simply. That's why we can do it this way. And so you don't have to be getting every person in the planet started. We already have that done. So if you're liking what you're seeing here and you're like, man, if this is real, I think I'm in. Here in the US and Canada and the UK, it's 30 bucks, $29.95 to be a rep, and you are in as a real business, okay? There's a $200 starter kit. You get 87 servings of this guy right here. Some of you might get bottles. It doesn't matter. I refer to these guys as fun and sexy. This one right here, serious and sophisticated. And either way, it's the same stuff on the inside. And for about 240 bucks, you get 87 servings of this. You can use it once a day, twice a day, totally up to you. So for about 240, you're in. In Canada, you got to do the Canadian conversion on the dollars. In the UK, it's 30 bucks there, but it's a $170 starter kit. And don't ask me, the UK government told us that's the price. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And over in Australia, $10 over there. What? 10 bucks over there, and there's a $200 enrollment kit because of the Aussie dollar and all that stuff is around 300 bucks to get started. In New Zealand, for my Kiwis out there, $10 over there, but you get a $100 option and a $200 option to start either way. Over in Africa, for the countries we're in over in Africa, same deal, 10 bucks there, $100 and a $200 option, same thing in the Philippines. So look, we have different socioeconomic issues, different regulatory issues that we're going to continue to deal with all over the globe. We're trying to do the best we can to grow as fast as we can, as many places as we can. So with that, guys, if you like what you're hearing here, and I went pretty fast. If you want to go do your own research, knock yourself out for real. But we've put it all in one place in case you'd like to save yourself some time. Resetandwin.com. You can go over there, it's free. Check it out. What you're going to see there, published medical research papers, functional medical doctors talking about how and why this works. Testimonials, overviews like this, all that stuff is there at resetandwin.com. Feel free to go there. Again, it's free. But if you like what you're seeing here and you're like, man, this looks pretty cool, I think I'm in, you should get back with your friend that invited you tonight. Let them know that that you are ready to get rolling. Let them know that you want to take action and get your spot locked in. Because I'm just telling you, the way we are growing, it is not stopping, gang. We literally have something that will change the world. It will. And the reason I say that is we're already watching it happen. We have stories. As a matter of fact, every Sunday, we have something called the Winner's Circle, and we have testimonials on there. And we're just packed out on every one of those because people love to hear the testimonials. And we have mundane to the amazing, literally, and everything in between. So real quick, before we wrap up this evening, and I'm actually going to open it up for questions tonight, okay? After we get done here, if anybody you guys want to stay on for questions, things like that, I'm happy to do that this evening. But Dr. Kareem, my brother, are you out there and available to unmute yourself? Let's see. Dude's always working at the hospital. There he is. What's going on, my man?
Hey, and I am at work tonight, of course, but I'm always available to you guys, always. This thing is changing lives. So how can I be of assistance?
So, real quick, tell him your background. I'll tell him. He's a microbiologist, for God's sakes, a master's in microbiology. Let's just start there. Pharmacist, okay? Tell him the rest of the story at that point. What you saw and what has happened to you in your world, please.
Okay, really, really quick, you guys. Let's see if I can share my screen and show you guys what happened. Basically, long story short, this is my story. Everyone's story and experience is going to be a little bit different, but this is what happened to me. I needed to find out what is mature hop extract. So I went out and I did the due diligence. I did the work. And when I did that, I brought in my dad, who's an internal medicine doctor, my brother, who's an emergency room doctor, and we answered these simple questions. What is mature hop extract and why is it important? We found out that if you are able to extract the mature hop bitter acids, that you can have something that's very bioavailable and that can actually help the body's overall homeostasis. So boom, we were excited about that. Next thing, no harmful side effects. Okay, how is that possible? 100% natural, only other ingredient, purified water. I started running it in my drug database, and every time it came up with no drug interaction, no drug interaction, no drug interaction. I said, wow, that is unique. I don't see that at all. No clinically significant side effects. Terry mentioned that. I said that means that no one in any of the clinical trials had to drop out because they had a side effect that they experienced that did not let them continue. So that made me feel comfortable that it was safe. The contraindications very limited. We have people even with allergies, even in these categories that are taking the product, but we need to be cautious. And so that's why we just advise caution if you would fit into any of those categories. No caffeine, no stimulant, it's vegan free. I said, sign me up. I'm ready to go and try this myself. In addition, once I found out that it was an activator and it activates the vagus nerve, I started talking to other doctors and saying, do we have anything like this? And the answer was no. We were not taught about this in medical school or pharmacy school because it didn't exist. And now we have a way to communicate with all of the different major organs in the body. And that was extremely powerful. Again, I said, what is visceral fat and why is it so important? Terry did a great job explaining that deep fat that surrounds your organs. If you have too much of it, which most of us do, then it can cause all of these different disease states in our body. The number one thing that I see people come to the hospital is because their diabetes, their blood sugar's out of control, their cholesterol's too high, their blood pressure's too high, and they end up having a stroke or a heart attack. If we can reduce our visceral fat, we can save lives. And so traditionally, what we had available to us in the healthcare industry was telling people they had to do one of these six things. But most people never had the time to do this, changing their lifestyle completely. But today, with new breakthrough technology, and I actually got to meet the scientists behind this weekend at the convention, I was able to confirm that fix can reduce unhealthy cravings, make you feel full longer, all these things that are beneficial to our body, getting us into homeostasis. And so now I've done the research. My beliefometer is through the roof. It went from 100% to 1,000%. And my personal story is that I'm so grateful that I said yes because I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure 6, 7 years ago, as you see it in 2018. And when I started this product on November 16, here's my weight, 208, between 208 and 210. I needed to get healthier myself. I have three beautiful daughters. That's my why. And individual results will vary, but this is what happened to me. And I lost 3 pounds of visceral fat. You see the body fat that I've lost. And I used the free Me 360 app. And as you can see, all of the numbers, except for the fitness index, went up, which means I'm healthier today than I was then. And everything else went down. And I have no more back pain, you guys. I'm off of half the medication with the help of my doctor, my cardiologist, my primary care physician. They all said, what are you doing? We've never seen you this healthy in all of these years. And I am just grateful, you guys, that I said yes, because this is just the beginning. And I hope that you guys do yourself the favor and give this a try. All the research in the world is nice, but until you see it from the inside, it's a whole different story. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And I should have just had him do that and then maybe shown you my back office, but the law says I can't do that. Point is, we have something that is real, you guys. I like to have fun when I'm doing this. I do. But at the end of the day, what Dr. Kareem just talked about, when he said this, medical community has been searching for decades for something that positively impacts the vagus nerve. This is a massive deal that we have something all natural, and we are the only company in the world that has it. You want to talk about opportunity? We're the only company that has the emulant, that has the new, what we call Robin Berry. That's not the name of it. We're going to announce the name of it here relatively soon for that subcutaneous fat, and we're the only one with the NZ fulvic. All four of those, only us in the world. So guys, we're about to get ripping, let me just tell you. And if you like what you're seeing here, get back with the person that invited you and let them know that you would like to get started. And they'll get you a link. They'll get you hooked up there, and you can get yourself registered. So with that, thanks for being on, and I look forward to catching you on one of the upcoming Zooms.